So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hey Luke, how you doing?
Hey, good.
I've got a question.
Okay.
Kind of a SL question.
All right.
It'll kind of come at the end. Let me show you a couple of things first. Let's go over here.
Okay. I wondered what all this stuff was.
And what you see here are two spent trebuchets. And the way that they work is I set the shaft on them to physical and throws the prim in the bucket. So
Okay.
adjust this. I select that and select that, and then I set the shaft to physical. And when I turn off the build menu, it comes to life
Whoa.
and throws a counterbalance.
And where's that going, man? It's way up there. It's going up out of sight.
Yeah, it'll throw it for a long ways.
Wow.
A lot of the characteristics of these prims have been set as and gravity.
Okay, so what script are you using in that?
No scripts.
No scripts.
There's no scripts here.
Okay.
Except maybe the flying saucer.
Okay.
Bridge over there, but there's the trick here is that these are movement without scripts. So that was a trebuchet and works pretty good.
Yeah.
Here now, if you notice the counterbalance on it, it is actually a link set that has a ball, captured ball in a bearing. Do you see that?
Okay, yeah, I'm camming in on it right now. Yeah, I see that.
So here we have another example of the captured ball idea. If I can.
Where you at? Okay, you're up.
Get it to run.
You have to bump it. Okay, there you go.
Bump it. There.
There you go.
Like that. Helps being a dog. Didn't go very long. So these prims are not scripted, and they are just a captured ball with low gravity.
Okay, so the ball. I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the ball is tied to the ring, and the outer ball is tied to some of the axes, and they rotate inside each other freely. If we go over here, we'll see another example of physics in Second Life. This is the captured ball idea, and the top sockets are heavy. They're set pretty massive, and the balls at the bottom are set really light. And they just go and go and go. The thing almost never settles down because it's got interaction. It gets bumped by another prim and starts all over again.
So have you created a perpetual motion machine here?
Well, maybe so. There is a trick to the weighting on it, and I like this model version of it. But here is another ball and socket, and this is a bridge.
Okay.
Captured ball technique, and you can see it moving. So if I take and build this thing and go into
Okay,
See how it's made with balls on the side of it, and these are balls and sockets also.
okay, I see. Yeah,
They're fitting inside, one inside the other.
you just had
And it
them.
creates this moving bridge. It's
Uh-huh.
non-scripted.
Wow. So those are invisible normally. The balls.
Well, they're set invisible to be a trick to the eye.
Yeah.
In Second Life, you never can trust anything you see.
Right.
So this is the mechanics behind this bridge, and it's kind of cool, but it's non-scripted is the point. So we take a look at this one over here. This is a link set.
Mm-hmm.
It's three prims, and it's rocking on a non-linked prim. And this thing will actually pick up speed. I could set it at a low swing, and it'll build up swing. So where does it get that energy? You'd think it'd diminish and become smaller and smaller, but it has no air or friction or gravity in this environment. So it just goes and goes and goes. And it'll actually bounce itself off of there. It gets kind of wild. But the physics in those cubes keep this thing moving. I'm not exactly sure. That's part of my question. It's the physics inside these cubes.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's go over here. They kind of repel each other. I've got a example set up here. And again, I'm messing with the gravity and the density. And I can put this on top of another one, a regular prim, and when I release it, it shoots it. You see that? The prims repel each other.
Mm-hmm. How far will that go?
Yeah, you can set it to be crazy. It can almost shoot it, but it's not a very strong force. But it is present in these prims, and I that feature of these prims. If we go over here, we can see this is a outer ring, outer cylinder with a hole in it and a piece inside it, and you can see that it's boiling. There's an interaction between the inner and outer prim. It's almost magnetic or gravitational, some kind of force that's present in the prims. So the question is, Havoc, which is our physics engine, emulates so many things correctly about real life in Second Life. For instance, the lighting. If you have a prim light and you move a distance away from the light, the light is divided by 4. As you go out 1 meter, the light is 4 times less powerful because the light's spreading out in all directions, and your subject point will actually have less light on it if you're further away from the lighting prim. And this follows exactly photography rules in real life, that you have subject to flash or subject to lighting distance, and it can control your f-stop. And that is emulated in Second Life perfectly.
Cool.
So the physics engine is very accurate. But what is this feature of the physics engine? This is some kind of an aberration. I don't think it was scripted. Maybe, but it's unusual. So here's another interesting idea. This is angular momentum from prims. This prim that's rotating has no script in it. It's simply rotating around another prim.
So how's it doing that? Oh.
Out, and I'll put it back. And there it goes again. And I do not know. If there isn't in this world, there must be something in the real world that this is emulating. And maybe it's a force. In Second Life, it's a virtual world. We'd call it something else in here, but possibly this vortex of energy could be the unified field theory. I don't know. Anyway, I would like to find out more about this feature. If we come over here, we see these little tiny pieces that are actually spinning, and they have no scripts in them. They simply move because of a relationship between their size and their mass. And if you notice, they're on edge.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same kind of angular momentum that a gyroscope would have. It's a degrees. It's going to be 80 or 82 degrees, and we're kind of seeing that in these prims. A gyro going around a pivot pole would move around the pole at an angle based on angular momentum. And we're seeing that in these prims. It's not scripted, it's just simply a feature of the nature of a prim in the Second Life. And my question is, can this be evidence that there is a force that we're not actually observing or dealing with in real life? Nikola Tesla would be exploiting such a feature of science, and his stuff got kind of confiscated when the feds and took down the Otis T. Cars and the Westcliff Towers. So we don't know. There's a whole bunch of science that was behind what Tesla was doing that we no longer needs to be reinvented.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a virtual evidence that there's something else in the real life that we haven't discovered? So if we come over here, we'll see basically the inside of an Otis T. car build, a student of Tesla, where we have a disk of neutrons, which are the cones. They are a gravitational mass that are spinning, so therefore they would have angular momentum and a gyroscopic effect on the disk. And the disk powers itself by charging the aluminum capacitors. And the inner and outer shell are set on a bearing, so they spin directly opposite of each other. Interdependent. So, but is this angular momentum something that we're not observing in real life, and this machine was tapping into it? This is my question, is what is that feature of these prims?
So the feature that's making these little prims bounce around, right? That's your question.
Yeah, what makes
Why are
that
these
happen?
prims bouncing around? Okay. Well, I don't know the actual scientific answer, the physics of it, but I mean, they're trying to get down to the ground, right? And the prim that they're setting on is blocking them. I mean, that's all I know that's happening there. Right, because if you, like the trebuchet, the ball that you threw, what?
They would touch each other, but they wouldn't be bouncing and continue. It would attenuate.
Well, they
bounce would become less and stop eventually.
Well, they can't. They have to stop on a flat surface, right? It's because of their shape.
Yeah, there's something else going on. It's something else.
Okay. So
I would like an answer. I would like to figure that out.
That's your question out to the Second Life physicist, right?
Yes, sir.
What force is causing those little prims to bounce?
And that spinner to spin, and this swinging art piece, how come it gets more and more momentum and doesn't reduce?
Okay.
And those are they're being simulated in a virtual world, but do they have a real world connotation? Is this havoc showing us something that we don't have, not necessarily documented, but it would be something like the unified field theory that Einstein was looking for, a connection between magnetism and gravity.
Okay. Cool. Let's leave it at that and see if we get any response to this. What do you say?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Quinn. This is very
Fun idea.
interesting. Yes.